Hello and welcome to Destiny 2 Edge of Fate. Now, some people will be in the same situation as I am where you finished a campaign in Edge of Fate and you're now trying to work out what to do next. You can see here, this is my main character. I'm on power level 157 right now, and I just need to work out what can I do that's going to be useful in terms of progression, and more importantly, what's going to be fun to do in terms of progression. So in this video, I'll talk about all of your options post-campaign, and then I'll talk about what I think is the best thing to do so far based on what I've been enjoying the most. Now, the obvious thing is to try and increase your power level. You want to get that up to 200, and then after that you get seasonal bonus power that will reset every season, but you want to make sure you're at least up to 200. If you're thinking about doing the raid on Saturday, you can actually do that once you're past 100. You don't have to get very high at all. But there's loads of different ways you can get that power level up. There's loads of different options. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. One thing that might surprise you when you finish the legendary campaign Edge of Fate is you could go over to the Edge of Fate quest section thinking, okay, what are we going to be doing next? What's like the next step? And then just find it is completely empty. But that doesn't mean there's nothing to do once you finish the campaign right now. You just have to go and decide what it is that you want to be doing. So one path you could take, one sort of route for progression, is to look at the ranks. So you might have found that we've all been reset back to, I think, rank 2 at the beginning of this season, at the beginning of this expansion. If you go across the journey on this tab and then go to view rank progress, you can see the challenges. So you get given rank 2 once you've just done New Light, and then to get rank 3, you have to do the Edge of Fate introduction quests, you have to activate some perks from your seasonal artifact, so that's as easy as going to your inventory and going down here to your seasonal artifact and putting some of these on. And then also for the portal activities, you just have to do 3 activities in solo ops, fireteam ops, or crucible ops, and you can do any, so you can just use like the quick search or something like that for those. If you want to get up to 4, then you need to do quite a lot more. So you have to get up to 100 power, which would get you raid ready for Saturday if you're doing that. And then you've got a few other things, complete activities on advanced difficulty, which if you're at power level 100, you'll be doing anyway. Complete ones with a fireteam ops with a bonus focus reward. I actually had some trouble with that objective, and I had to go and find custom made ones that had a bonus focus reward. So there's 3 different activities that have it. So Inverted Spire, Glassway, and Empire Hunt, they all have this extra purple item and it says extra bonus focus. I know Quick Play Advanced says it does, but for whatever reason I did 3 of those. We got as high a rank as we could do, and we didn't get any progress on that at all. So I had to go use the Fireteam Finder to try and find groups to do these 3, and I just did each of them once to get all of those. So that works fine. You could just do the same one 3 times if you wanted to. I'm pretty sure that would work too. And then you have to do the same thing on solos with bonus focus things, which again, don't use the quick finder, just do the ones you want to do. And then you have to also make sure you equip a boon and a minor negative once you're past about 100 power level, to be honest, or 140 I think is where you need to be. Then you can just put all of the modifiers on. Put as many modifiers on as you possibly can, and those 2 should be complete too. For the light subclasses, you have to purchase all your aspects from a core array, so just go to the tower and do that. If you've already done the other expansions, that should already be done. If not, you just go to a core in the tower to do that. Gear modification, you have to put some mods on each item of armor. Take them off and add them again once you've unlocked this kind of rank. Otherwise, that won't count for some reason. Put some shaders on your gear. That was already done for me. And equip an economical tracking mod on your ghost. So that's just things like the mods on your ghost that give you more glimmer, or the wombo thing that's the wombo finder, wombo tracker that finds chests for you. And then gunsmith, just go to Banshee in the tower. Talk to him, collect some glimmer, do a gunsmith bounty to get an enhancement core. Again, if you've already done that in previous expansions, that'll already be done for you. And pick up weapons from him, and he's got some great weapons, so go do that. And then you just sort of keep on progressing. So now I'm on the next one to try and get 200 power, but there's also things to try and do some of the expert difficulty portal activities, which you have to be at 200 power to be able to do that anyway. So I can't do that yet. So that is another option for what you could be doing in terms of how you could organize your progress, I guess, because that will encourage you to join lots of different things. But that's not all to organize it. You could, if you wanted to, take the approach of going and try and doing your rewards pass. So if you go to the rewards pass, just like every other season, you will have a bunch of seasonal challenges, and this gives you a load of other objectives. Now, there is obviously loads of crossover, and everything I'm going to show you today has a bunch of crossover. So you could do some of these while also ranking up and vice versa. But for this, you have to do slightly different things, like finding data pads in some of the solo ops activities and the fire team's ops activities. There's just kind of little pads. They actually have an objective marker on them, so they're quite easy to find when you do come past them. Defeating targets in port activities, specifically with solar stasis or strand super. So it's a good idea to equip one of those supers, because I didn't, which is kind of irritating. So I need to go back and do that. And complete Crucible matches. I've done, I think, 2 Crucible matches and won both of them. One in the normal playlist and one in ranked, one in competitive. And I got 8% progress for each of these. So it looks like you're going to be doing, 13 matches if you win them all in order to complete this. Probably more likely, you'll be losing some. So maybe about 20 matches in a Crucible to try and get this. Trying to complete this will obviously unlock a bunch of stuff on the season pass for you. So that's another thing you could do to try and sort of organize your time to decide what you're going to go after. And then another thing that you could be doing is just if you go onto the Kepler map, you'll see there's tons of these icons, and these are all extra quests. So these are not quests from the campaign. These are new quests. They'll give you a little bit more story, just extra stuff to do, and obviously you'll get some rewards and things like that as you go through them. So you can hop around and do a load of these quests. You can also do the Civ activity. This is a part of the exotic quest, so after you finish the legendary campaign, there's an exotic quest you'll be led towards. I won't spoil what you get from it or what you have to do, but a part of it will include going to the Civ. And annoyingly, it's not always available. So you can see here it says it's going to be available in 1 hour and 24 minutes. Once that timer is up, it will be available for half an hour, and then it will be unavailable again. When you go into it, there's no difficulty settings or anything. It is match made, so you'll go in with 3 Guardians. And it's pretty easy, it's pretty straightforward. There's some different objectives, but it will always tell you what you have to do. I found it very easy. You seem to get tons of rewards from doing it, especially the first time. And stick around after you finish the first sort of set of objectives, because you can just keep going with the same group. And it felt to me like the second time I did it, we actually had more rewards, and there was a more rewarding activity to do the second time. But I think a lot of people just quit as soon as they finish the exotic mission. There are also some secrets that you can find on the world map. So if you don't want to know anything about the exotic weapon you get from the secret exotic quest, look away now, maybe skip a few minutes ahead. But if you don't mind seeing it, I'll show you what you have to do to complete those. So I just need to grab the exotic weapon out of my vault. So once you've got the exotic weapon on you, then there's a few different locations around the map where you can go to try and find some little secrets. And one of them is in the basement underneath this building. So if we have a look around, let's see if we can find the entrance to the basement. Here's one. So we're going to hop into Matt's Park and then go through here. So go through the vents and then pop out into this room. Try not to stand too close to that fan, because that will kill you. And you'll see that there's these weird little bulb things. If you have Graviton Spike, you can see you can change between... Oh, I don't want to activate that. There we go. You can change between the stasis shots or the arc shots just by holding your reload button. So if, while it's looking like this, if the bulbs are looking like this and you shoot it with the stasis shots, you'll see it says it's immune. But if you shoot it with the arc shots, and you can kind of see there's electricity going over it, you will do some damage. So if you keep on shooting it, it will open up to reveal what looks like stasis crystals. Shoot those. You see you're doing a bit of damage to those now. And then they will break open, smash open, and now you can see this fan has shut. So if I turn back into Matt Spark, I can go through here. That fan shut down, and now you can go in here and pick up this, and it will give you Temporal Manipulation 2. So On the actual exotic weapon itself, you can see temporal manipulation is the intrinsic trait. Now what you've picked up is another trait that you can use when you craft another one of these that will basically be a better version of this. And there's a ton of these to find around the map. There's loads of intrinsic traits to discover around Kepler. So have a look around, see what you can find, and if you find them, just make sure the bulbs, you shoot with the electric one first, and then stasis. So that's another thing that you could be looking for as you're moving around. Also, while you're trying to complete all of these, you can see this big skull icon. This is the worlds tier. So you can actually, just like you can customize the difficulty of portal missions, you can now customize the worlds tier, and this will give you better rewards as you go through. So Brave is kind of the easy difficulty. If you go on to Legendary, you will always be 20 power levels below the enemies, and you will get twice as many rewards. Apparently, you get a double reward multiplier, but you can see there's a few modifiers. You can go up to Fabled, so that'll be 150. You'll be stuck at 150. If you're past that, you'll always be there. So obviously, even if you go up to like 400 power level, you'll still be at 150 for this. And the enemies have all of this. I would recommend don't do that when you're just at 100. We tried, and we were getting one shot by snipers. It was really hard. But that will get you better gear, Kepler gear. And then once you get up to 200, you can go to Mythic, and you'll get even more difficult modifiers, but you will get the best reward multiplier. So if you're going around doing all of these kind of map objectives, then making the world's tier kind of suitable for what your power level is will obviously mean that you're getting the best rewards for your time. Once you get your power level up to above 150, so you can see now I'm on 162, then you can set your world's tier up to Fabled. So if you go to customize and world tier, you can set it up to Fabled there. And once that is all set up and you're in the game in Fabled, then if you go on over to the Altar of Relativity, which is something you interacted with a bunch in the campaign, just in the Cold Era, then you'll have this quest, Explore Kepler Fabled. Now this asks you to go and pick up 4 of the Strangelets again, the capsules that you're picking up before, as well as 2 secret ones. And the reward for this is that you are going to get Matter Spark 4. So this is another quest that's worth picking up because you're going to be going around to lots of different areas. And you can also see there's a bunch of other stuff that you can do once you've completed that. So once you've completed Explore Kepler Fabled, you can get some tier 4 weapons, which is pretty amazing. There's also some upgrades and stuff like that. And then once you get up to the Mythic World tier, you'll get another version of this, and then you'll be able to get some tier 5 weapons, which that's the first time I've seen tier 5 weapons offered up as a reward. Another different way you could sort of organize your progress is a new thing, and this is the portal screen. And this is obviously where Bungie want us to spend a lot of time. Now, when you look at this, you can sort of go and join those solo activities or Fireteam or Pinnacle or Crucible that you needed to do the rewards pass or to do your ranks up. But there's also a seasonal hub. So if you press on this is something that I didn't actually see when I first started playing through the expansion. You will have daily challenges that you can complete. I did all of these yesterday evening. But you'll have daily challenges, and you can complete all of these to get some weekly progress. You can see even a day after the expansion came out, I've already finished this. But basically every week there's going to be a bunch of rewards you can earn, and it's pretty good stuff. You know, you get strange coins, you get some powerful gear. You get a bunch of other stuff, Arsenal credits, so you can unlock some items from that. A bunch of different stuff, even an exotic engram once you get up to 19, and some bright dust. And so you can complete these daily challenges, and there's also a set of weekly challenges that are all different things, again, that will cross over with all of the other things that you're doing. So trying to complete bonus focus activities and portal activities, getting B grades or higher, which is really, really easy to do, successfully completing them, generate orbs of power or ammo bricks, so you can set up your mods to make sure you generate lots of those. And then if you go down now, there's some challenging activities that you actually need to be higher level for. You can see here all the way up to 410. Where these are more challenging activities, seasonal conquests that you don't need to do right now, but that could be like a long-term goal for you. So things like doing Devil's Lair on Expert, once you're at 190, that's something you could probably do quite soon. But doing the Grandmaster version of Delve, that's probably going to take a little bit longer. One thing I do really like about this update is you can see in the main bit of information there, it says, okay, this is a fire team, 1 to 3 players, it's cooperative, but it also tells you how long it's expected to take. So doing Devil's Lair will take a normal group on expert 10 to 15 minutes. Now, obviously, you might be able to do that a little bit faster. You might take a little bit longer, but it gives you an idea of how long some of these activities will take. Because some of them, like this one, doing Whisper, that's going to take more like half an hour. So if you hop on and you've just got 15 minutes, you can kind of look at these and be like, oh, okay, I've got 15 minutes, let's hop on and try that. And if you complete those conquests, you actually get some triumphs. Special ones for doing it, where you get a call to arms bonus, and then eventually you can get the title Conqueror if you manage to complete all of these. And yet another thing you might choose to go after are the triumphs. So if you go over to Journey, you can see triumphs, and there is one for Kepler. There's a bunch of stuff that they're asking you to do. So completing all of the different side missions. These are all for doing the campaign and doing it on Legendary. Completing the mission criticality on Fabled difficulty, so you need to be over 150 power level, in under 10 minutes. Defeating all of the different possible bosses in the Civ. Earning the Fated Ciphers from activities on Kepler, which you'll get given quite a lot. That will get you a nice emblem. And then there's also a bunch of secrets. So getting all of the little bits completed for Graviton Spike, completing all of the time latch missions, which you can just do from the main menu, completing every mission on Kepler, on Fabled difficulty, all of these, Charge, Commencement, Quarantine, Gouge, and the Message, doing all of those on Mythic. There's a bunch of different stuff to do to try and earn the Kepler Triumph. So there is a lot to do, and on top of all of that, there's all of the stuff that you could do before, so you can just hop into Crucible, do competitive, get ranked, and all of that kind of thing. And all of it will work towards unlocking different things, whether that's just upgrading your power levels so you can unlock the higher difficulties, which means you can get better gear, or unlocking titles or specific bits of gear. There's a ton of different stuff to do. In terms of what I recommend you do after you finish, to be honest, a mix is really, really good. In order to make this video, I tried all of the different activities, and I found I was enjoying them a lot more when I was spending half an hour playing Crucible, half an hour exploring the world map, half an hour doing some of the portal missions. There's a ton of different stuff in this expansion, and it doesn't feel super obvious because none of it's all of that different from what we were doing before in Destiny. But I think they've managed to break everything down into kind of bite-sized chunks where you can always feel like you're making some kind of progress, whether that's just getting your daily or your weekly missions done, doing a little bit of progress towards a triumph, towards a title, or just trying to find slightly better gear. Now, my favourite thing, the thing that I think has been the most rewarding so far, has been doing the stuff on the world map on Kepler. So, because you can change the world's tier, you can go and search out those side missions, search out the secret exotic upgrades, just try and find chests. And because the world tier is quite granular, you know, you've got 4 different options on there, it feels like you can keep it challenging at a level you want to. Or if you just want to chill and explore, you can put the difficulty down a little bit, and then you can just wander around and find stuff if you want to. But it's been nice having a constant level of challenge, and you get rewarded for it. Like, you do definitely get better rewards at higher level world tiers. I think eventually the portal system will be quite good once I've unlocked the absolute sort of top tier of it. But right now, I think there's a weird jump in difficulty that I'm right in the middle of, where I can't unlock the next set because I have to get to power level 200. But at around power level 140, 150, 160, everything I can put on, even if I put all of the modifiers on, just feels insanely easy. Like, enemies die so fast, it's really easy to get score. I've been doing some stuff solo and some stuff in Fireteam Finder, and I just think I'm in an awkward phase there after I finished the campaign, where all of that stuff is too easy, but I can't unlock the next stuff until I get some more gear. So for me right now, exploring the world map, doing those side quests, putting the world tier up to a difficulty that I find challenging, that's been the thing that I found the most useful, and I seem to be getting gear pretty quickly. I was playing for 2 hours earlier, and I went up from about 150 up to about 170, so that's not too bad. Getting like an extra 10 power levels in an hour, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, it'll slow down at some point, but right now I'm pretty happy with it. But that's that. I just wanted to make this video really because I was getting annoyed of people on Reddit and on Twitter saying, oh, there's nothing to do in Destiny, you don't really get much from the Legendary campaign, and then there's nothing to do after it in Edge of Fate. I think there's tons to do. You just kind of have to decide on a target, decide on a goal out of the many that are offered to you, and then focus on that. Let me know in the comments what you think. What have you been enjoying doing so far in Edge of Fate? What have you found useful? And if you've got any tips on how to get, particularly good items, how to get increased power levels really quickly, leave those in the comments below, because I'm sure they'll be super helpful, not just to people reading them, but also to me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And obviously, do support the video like that. Like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see more Destiny content. That's how I decide what I make videos on, is the ones that get a lot of engagement. I will do more based on that. So if you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you get involved. And I will see you for the next one. Goodbye.
You fight like a demon for these zones.